So following administering the VMI and the BOT2 to Maggie, I was able to score her results. So first with the VMI, I was able to score her raw scores for the VMI. As you can see, Maggie scored a 23 out of 24 points. Now it was out of 24 points because Maggie is is an adult, so she did not have to fill out areas 1 to 6. And then you can see the following, she got scores for all of them except number 28, which was making a cube, and she did not do it correctly, therefore she did not receive a score. And in the future with the VMI, I would need the manual to score her standard scores and percentile. So that is something I would need in the future to see how Maggie does in comparison to other individuals on the test. And I also was able to score Maggie's scores for the BOT2. And with the BOT2, Maggie scored a 41 for fine motor precision and a 7 for manual dexterity. So for fine motor precision, Maggie scored a top score that she could possibly get. As you can see from here, she scored in the top percentile. And then for manual dexterity, we only looked at making dots and circles, and she scored the 3rd highest from the top, so therefore that gave her the score of a 7 because she was able to make 37 dots in the circles. And again with the BOT2, if I had the manual, I would be able to score more results for her with standard scores or percentile. So that is again something I would do in the future when I had the manual. And so after scoring Maggie's results and administering the assessment to her, I was able to look back and reflect on some good things that I did and some things I could work on. So one thing that I think I could work on in the future was how I present the assessments to Maggie. I think I was unsure with standardized assessments if there's a certain way you present these assessments. And I know that we didn't want to use medical jargon, and I didn't want Maggie to feel as if I was talking to her as if she was a child. So that's something I would look into in the future and maybe present it in a different way to keep her interested, but also something that is based on the standardized manual. So I wasn't sure about that. And another thing I wasn't sure about when I was presenting them to Maggie and when she would do an activity, especially in the BOT2, I would compliment her and say that she did a great or good job. So again, I was not sure if that is something that would be allowed with standardized assessments, but I wanted to compliment her, especially on hard ones, so that she would be motivated to keep going and she would have some confidence when she entered the next activities. And another thing I would change in the future for the BOT2, I know it took a good amount of time when I was ripping off each page and presenting it for Maggie, and I know with a child this may be vital time where they lose attention, so that is again something I would try and be more prepared for in the future. And I'm not sure, because it is standard, if I can rip them all out and then present them to Maggie beforehand. So that's something I would look into to make the transition from activity as smooth as possible. And lastly, when observing my ClinOps on the video, it was very hard to see what Maggie's hands were doing specifically, such as if she was hitting her legs too hard, or when her fingers were above her head, if she could touch each one with her thumb. So that's something that I would make sure is on the video so that the viewer can see. But unfortunately, with technology, it was very hard to get her whole frame in camera. But those are some things in the future that I would do differently when administering these assessments to a client.